Yeah, Farzana ma'am. You will have to unmute yourself. Yeah, so Farzana ma'am, on behalf of Team of Ignited Educators, Bhavnagar Teachers Association and Bhavnagar Preschool Association, I welcome you on board. And we are very, very humble, obliged, and grateful to have you with us on this show, Farzana ma'am. So before we start today's session, a brief introduction about Farzana ma'am. I met Farzana ma'am in Mumbai, I think 2, 3 years back. And the first session that I heard of Farzana ma'am was about how to select the correct board for your child. And you were talking about the IB board. And that was my first session. And Farzana ma'am, after attending that session, lot of doubts got cleared, and still date I have that recording of that session, because whenever my parents have doubt about selecting which board, I always forward that clipping. It was organized by some school and you were the speaker there. So Farzana ma'am basically is a former IB representative for South Asia, and she is the vice president of APER, ECA and APER, and she is an experienced educator. So jitne bhi sessions I have attended of Farzana ma'am, her experience speaks. So I'm very happy. I mean, I'm more than happy to have Farzana ma'am on this show, because today is the last show session of this entire festival. We celebrated it for 1 month, and you know, this is kind of a farewell show, and I chose you to become the speaker because I wanted everybody to take the memories that can stay for long. So, Farzana ma'am, thank you so much, and I welcome you on this show.
Thank you so much, Harsha. Thank you. And such kind words comes only from our ECA APER team. So we are very good colleagues working together. Again, not for profit. We are just doing it to help the movement forward, And that's what I appreciate so much in Harsha too.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Our pleasure. So the topic which I would like to talk about today is discovering your potential as a teacher. We are all teachers, but somehow in the rut that we stay, we sometimes, you sort of start thinking that, is this the right profession? Am I enjoying it or not? So I think if you are looking for ways to become a more successful, effective and effective teacher, then you are at the right workshop and at the right time. Because today I am going to be talking about that teaching is not easy. There's a lot of planning required. But with your patience and hard work, it will make you very job satisfied. You'll be a great teacher. So let me help you not only to become a better teacher, but the best teacher. So moving on. So it's said by Eckhart Tolle. I like the saying of his a lot, And he says, you do not become good by trying to be good, but finding the goodness that is already within you. We're all good teachers, but somehow we need to have that belief and self-esteem that yes, we can do it. And the pandemic was the best time for all of us, because it proved to us that yes, we can change with time. We were so dynamic. I think within 2 or 3 days, we all went onto the platforms and using technology as if it's like fish in water, We became so good at it, all of us. So that shows there is some goodness, there is these skills within you. So don't try searching outside. Peep inside yourself. So in education, friends, we often talk about how we will challenge our students, But my question to you is, do you challenge yourself? In a teaching career, it's so easy, friends. I'm sure all those who are listening to me today, we have reached a sort of a plateau stage, where we think we know it all and that's the best way to do it. But unfortunately, there is so much more within you to expand, explore, and I'm going to show you the skill and how will you do it. So my first picture, and this is something which is close to my heart, and I tell all my teachers, Be the teacher that notices the kids that don't get noticed. In our classroom sizes that we have, 30 kids, 40 kids, we usually, the bright sparks in the class are the ones that get attracted to the teacher. And the teacher, whenever she has an assignment, some work, she'll always pick those kids because for her, that's the easiest way to do it. But I am telling you, friends, the challenge for us is to get those children who are the quiet children, who are not doing too well. They may have also that potential, but no teacher has tapped them. So I am asking you from today, when you enter your classrooms, pick up the children who are not getting noticed. I'm sure they are kids with a lot of skill sets, but we have not been able to recognize those skill sets. Now, I always tell all my teachers, you need to have this bucket list. And I usually take a printout of this. And if you friends are there, take a picture of this from my screen. This should be on your board, on your desk, somewhere. And what is this bucket list of different things that you can do with your children? Like maybe play a game in class. Children love, they hate, they feel bored. So they want some fun happening. Sometimes you could come dressed as a super Wonder Woman and come into class. I mean, ek dupatta maine idhar pin kiya and say, today I am the Wonder Woman. And children get so fascinated. Wow, my teacher has become a superhero today, You can tell them about some books that you are reading, and why are you reading these books, Sometimes, I always tell, when you do an art piece, take permission from your principal and play some light music in the class. You have to create different environments, If you live in that same ecosystem from morning to evening, the kids don't like it. So my request is, in your bucket list, this should be, I will play some music for my children, Sometimes I can make a funny poster or funny picture of my class, everybody doing some funny action and we take a picture. Wow, it's so much fun because everybody will laugh, joke about it. And that's the lighter moment. And that's what school is all about. Today, you and I will remember all these funny, happy moments. I will never remember when the teacher shouted at me. I've forgotten, it's gone. But that teacher who appreciated me or did some fun stuff with us, I will always remember. So these are some of the things on a bucket list that you need to have as a teacher and pin it on your board. So every time you say, okay, I should do this, I've not done this, I should do this. Now, some learning engagement strategies. Many a times we see we have that same one method of teaching our children. Our children then by default know exactly what the teacher is doing and what is going to happen next. Give them some different ideas. Like I would say, I love music, So I will say mix music and academics together. So the children move around in your classroom when some light. See, you can't have peppy music because the other classes will get disturbed. Principal will come running to catch you. So play some light music, And when the music stops, two children, whoever are closest, have to pair up. Now that becomes your group for the week. So instead of you choosing roll number 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, make it a fun activity. And nobody feels, Miss, I wanted her, or Miss, she never became my friend. In this way, the children will also learn to mingle and work and collaborate together, Another idea which I would love to use with you all is the gallery walk. What is a gallery walk? You can put up lots of things in your classroom. Okay, and you ask your children to take a gallery walk. Suppose if I'm teaching them something in social studies, in history, so I can put up maybe like, let's take Shivaji. So I will put up some picture of Shivaji's forts, Shivaji's, armor, the dress he used to wear. Then I could put up his mother's picture, his father's picture, the type of weapons, the guerrilla warfare. They were famous for that. I would put up all this, and then I would tell the children to move around the classroom as if they are in an art gallery and look at each picture, and then they come back and in their pairs or in their groups, they discuss what they have seen. So this is like getting them curious and getting them to learn. So there are many activities again in this. So if you have taken a picture, if not taken, take one pic and it will help you to use these ideas also in your classrooms. Now, too often, this is a lovely saying which I have always put up in my room, too often we underestimate the power of touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, Even a small compliment. I'm saying not only compliment to your children, but also sometimes to your parents. In online classes, the parents have opened up their homes for you. Okay, they're sitting next to the child, they're helping. So someday you could do something where you are saying, oh, thank you, all you mothers, because you have helped me in this year to take my journey forward and help my children to move on, you know. So small compliment like that, you know, gladdens the mother to say, मैंने पूरा साल इतना किया, teacher एक बार भी thank you नहीं बोला मुझे. You know, also if you say thank you to your colleague, you know, someone who has made a teaching aid for you, someone who's helped you with something, and say, thanks, yeah. If what you did for me, you know, I can't put it into words, you know. That person feels very motivated. So the next time when you ask for a favor, they're very easy to do it for you, because everybody, I'm saying, even me, if you don't tell me something nice and thank you, I'll also feel many kyun kiya. Nobody's appreciating what I've done. And you're able to take a turn the whole life around, you know. So sometimes, even if your child has done something very nice, helped a child who's fallen down, bring him in front of the class and say, you know, today I'm appreciating Ramesh, you know, because when Taha fell down, he picked him up, he brought him to the clinic, he did so many, he was such a caring child. Let's all clap for him. So Ramesh will feel, and see, this thing will stay with him. And he'll always be a caring child. And all the other children will say, Are, we should have done that. That's a good act. So you're teaching them good habits by default. So I'm going to show you one small video which will...
Healthy music for a child's heart, body, and mind. Move and Freeze from the award-winning CD Brain Boogie Boosters by The Learning Station. Come on, move and freeze. 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 Put your right hand on your left knee, your left hand on your right. Your knees move in and out, your hands stay tight. Now keep on with your moving, but switch hands on your knees. Keep on moving in and out till we say freeze. Come on, move and 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 freeze.
So what did we see in this video? These are called the brain breaks. You know, sometimes when a class after class after class, we just keep doing work. Maths goes into social studies goes into EVS, English, you know, music comes in. Even she is talking about some theory, you know. Our children need the brain breaks, because then slowly what is their, I would say, their efficacy quotient slowly drops. So by the end of the last class, they're not interested. But if you would have a brain break like that, you know, with music and get them standing, I would say you could even do this in your online class. Why can't we do a brain break in the online class? Play this and let them learn these actions and do it, you know. Mainly it was move, freeze, move, freeze. It's like the old game that we used to play, no, LOND on London, something like that. But kids enjoy this. There is movement, there is action, there is music. So give your children these brain breaks. Whatever the age, whether it's a pre-primary or a primary child, brain breaks are essential for children. Another thing, make a space in your schools. I feel that now our children have become so much tech savvy. They do so much on the screen, you know, that they have forgotten especially in this pandemic, what it is to create things. So once our children are back into school, I would urge you to make a maker space in your school, or a maker space in your classroom, or somewhere in your multi-purpose room. What can we do with this maker space? You can have a lot of stuff, and children just go there and create. That they can make anything. Please, I don't want fancy models created. I want them to be thinking and working and making something that will help them to like unleash their potential, their creativity. So that So with a makerspace, we can move beyond consumption to creation. These are very important ones. What is our consumption? Screen ke samne baith gaya and it's beautiful, music, sound, images, storyline. I'm hooked. But can I create something? I need to move away from that. I'm not saying it's bad. It's good, but sab cheez limit mein acha hai. So a maker space is now the big buzzword. So after pandemic, when you come into your classrooms, do think about this maker space which I'm talking about. Now, in the maker space, we can do so many ideas. Let's look at a pizza box. Okay, I'm sure every teacher orders some pizza, if not in the pandemic, if we are scared, but normal times, pizza to school mein bhi aata hai, pizza ghar pe bhi aata hai. We eat the pizza and the box is thrown. I am saying teachers, ask your parents, ask your other co-teachers. You have a pizza box. If you order a pizza, please bring it for me. Clean it, please, and keep it ready for me. So look what you can make with a pizza box, a tic-tac-toe game. So this is white felt cloth or paper, and then Velcro on these X, and so it sticks automatically, and you've made a tic-tac-toe game for the children. When do you use this? See, when you give them a writing activity or math sums, after it is over, what happens? Then they start fiddling with the next child, poking a pencil, मस्ती करता है, उसको आंसर बता देता है, पानी पीता है, miss can I go use the washroom? They have finished their work. Now we have, because they are the good kids, the intelligent kids, we have to occupy them. These are the gifted children. So if we have 2-3 things like that in one corner, the maker space, or we have something like this, they can go and play there till the other children finish. So it motivates the others. हमको भी जल्दी लिखना चाहिए. We will get an opportunity to go there. And this doesn't need a lot of time. It doesn't need too much resources. It just needs a little creativity from you. See another another pizza box. We could make it like a little theater. See, imagine if you're talking about drama in your class or a story, you open it up and just on ice cream sticks, you can put in 2 picture cutouts, put one drawing at the back. It becomes your stage. Kids are fascinated. See, these are the small things, friends. And this is what differs from an international school to a national. Curriculum to same hi hai. Then why do people pay more there? Because of the creativity of the teachers, that this all things are happening. So instead of just reading a story from a book, I use a pizza box to make my story. Another is, take if you are from the preschool, see what you can do with these pizza boxes. If you look at that red box in the left-hand corner, the teacher has made slits on it. And of course, she's painted it red or put red paper and made slits. Then she's got these little pieces here, which the child can put and see whether shapes seekhte hai, numbers seekhenge, colors seekhenge, and also fine and gross motor skills that develop. So see the different activities that you can, if you look at the topmost picture, on one big cardboard box, they've made holes and they have these screws so that the children can use. So it could be a pizza box also. And they are learning how to screw. So you are developing all this in early years by doing this. Here, if you see the center picture, they have put pizza boxes one under one another. So it becomes like a shelf. So they can put their own crayons, whatever they want. So just be an out of the box sort of a teacher to use creatively what you can in your class. Now this is a game. One teacher has created a game with a pizza box. Kuch bhi paper liya, velvet paper, kuch mere ghar pe cloth hai dal ke. Now this could be a early primary, memory card, or it could be matching. You could play anything, alphabet to picture, A, apple. In a lower class, in the bigger classes, you could ask them to match word to this. I mean, use your creativity. It's an idea which I wanted to present before you. So for me, what is the greatest resource in classroom is your experience. You all are the teachers who have the greatest experience. You need to share your learning, your experience with your children. Not through textbook. I am very good with English. मैं तो पढ़ा सकती हूँ, noun, verbs, adjectives. That's not what they want. They want your experience. So teach them in a way that they will learn, not in a textbook-oriented way. And that's exactly what the ADP 2020 is talking about. Holistic development, learn through different mediums, use music, arts. I mean, holistic NEP is talking a lot about the arts, you know. Now, another very important thing, every teacher, as I told you in the starting, the first slide, you need to notice those children who are not getting noticed. I am saying also believe in every child's potential. You have 30 kids, 35 kids, every child will have something good. So if you believe it that every child has something good, you will try to unearth it, unpack it, and help the child to understand this. One thing you need to always tell some stories to your children, you know, about, for example, about people who are very successful today but were failures. Talk about Abraham Lincoln. He failed so many times, but when he stood for elections, America's president, he won it. You talk about Einstein. His school principal and teacher said, take him out. He can't learn. But his mother took up the challenge. And Einstein, everybody remembers. All his friends in his school of so many yesteryears, who knows them? But everybody knows. Because the mother believed in her child. So you as a teacher, and we call you all in primary school mother teachers, you need to believe and make a strategy with your child, and you have to challenge your children. As I said, challenge yourself, challenge your children, and take them out from their comfort zone. So if I'm a very good kid, I can finish my maths very fast, give them another challenge to do. Like I said, they can go and play tic-tac-toe or any other game, read a book, anything, you know. And next thing which I want you all to be risk takers. Sometimes, you know, reading from a book, writing, मैंने 20 साल से 15 साल से पढ़ाया है, page number 13, I know exactly how to teach. But unfortunately, your children are bored of that. So be a risk taker. They say no risk, no reward. So if you don't take a risk, you don't get job satisfaction. You need to try out new things in class. Do things, challenge yourself. I'm not saying spend hours over it. But like, for example, if you see these pizza boxes, you can have a chat with your art teacher and says, मैं 3 pizza box लाके दूंगी. In your next art class, make the children draw, color, and make this theater for me. It was my idea. The art teacher in the art class is making them do. Or the music teacher can play the music and you can do a brain play. So you have to use the resources very intelligently. And what will happen? You will push the teachers as well as your children out from that safety bubble, वो comfort zone वाला bubble. You know, अभी वो bio bubble की बहुत बात हो रही थी during the pandemic. If I fly from here to London, I have to be in a bio bubble. I am saying this is also a comfort bubble. We are very in a comfort zone. Break that. Be a risk taker. Try new things. Important skill, and if you want to try, listen and show empathy. If you are empathetic towards your children, you can get the world out of them. They will do everything for you. But if you are the mean, cruel teacher always shouting at them, you, Thomas, you are always, you're useless. I don't have anything for you. I know today we don't say this, but sometimes we are tired. We are frustrated. घर का कुछ frustration है. I may. So when you're speaking, be mindful. Be empathetic to your children. And listen, sometimes, you know, the naughty boy gets caught and say, you did it. He's trying to explain in his broken English to you that, miss, I didn't do, I was walking and the pencil box fell. But you don't have the patience. You have not listened. So he feels, what's the use of telling my teacher that I was walking by mistake, the pencil box fell, but she's screaming and shouting at me. So be empathetic and listen to your children. Also, you need to be responsible and responsive. Both, they're two different things. So that if you want to be a very effective teacher, you know, and you want to do things with them, you know, you also have to care for their social, emotional skill development. Academics so karenge hi, but also look, now in today's world, I'm telling you, IQ, SQ, EQ, now nobody talks so much. Now they talk about the HQ. And what is that? Happiness quotient. So you need to see that my child is happy in class, happy in school. If there is a child who is looking, very happy child, looking sad on a particular day, after class, in between class, pull him out, ask him what happened. And he will tell his emotions to you because he's bonded with you. But if he's not bonded with you, he will say, no, nothing, miss, I'm fine. You may be able to help him for whatever his younger sister tore, his book or whatever. And then you can counsel the child. It's okay. Mama will buy a new one for you. We have to imbibe passion in the mind of the students. And what is that? We all talk about positive thinking, correct? I'm moving you one step further. From positive thinking to possibility thinking. Now, this is something new you may be hearing. From positive thinking to possibility thinking. And you can tell them, of course you can do it. Why can't you do it? You just say, you can do it, child, do it. So, wo positive hua. Possibility, I see in you the potential. You can crack this quiz in like 5 minutes. Wo possibility hua. So I feel, yes, I have to prove my teacher right. I will do it. That same example of Edison, which I gave you earlier also. That possibility thinking was there in his mother, and that is where he became what he became. For your own selves, friends, you need to have a personal growth plan. I don't mean by a personal growth plan that I was pre-primary teacher, now I become primary, then I'll do. I'm not talking that growth. I'm talking personal growth. I want you to develop yourselves. Like there is this tiny Buddha, is a very lovely site. Please go hit on it and you will read lots of articles and quotes where there is so much motivation. So the day that you're feeling a little out and down, go to Tiny Buddha and read such lovely things they say. You know, there are materials and mentors everywhere around you. But it's you have to approach them, you have to chat with them, you have to open up. Maybe a friend, maybe a colleague, you will be able to do wonders for your own growth, friends. I am saying take baby steps. I am not saying make a big leap. I am not asking you to take a big jump. Could I request all participants to mute themselves? Please mute yourselves. Thank you. Thank you. I would request everybody to please. Thank you. We need to take baby steps, friends. Why do we need these baby steps? Because we have to fight our own doubts. You know, there are these doubts and things in our mind, you know. We have to fight them. And we have to say, I will do it. I can and I will. Sometimes you have an idea and you'll say, is this right? You know, my self-esteem is very low. You know, she can do it. I can't do it. Why? Remember, idea. The last line of my slide is very important. The idea is an evolution in you. It is not a revolution. So I'm not asking that tomorrow you will be the best teacher in your school. It's an evolution. Tiny steps, baby steps. You will reach that stage of being that very revolutionary teacher, but slowly evolve yourself. Change is dynamic. So don't expect that I'll be a great teacher. It takes time. It takes experience. Another example, you know, there are so many of these teacher groups around on Twitter, on Facebook. Join them because you get some nice ideas there of what others are doing. Also, there are social groups, like I am part of a Mumbai Moms group. I'm sure many of you all may be on similar groups. Then I'm sad, my mother has got COVID in hospital. So we're all saying a small prayer for you. So when you are upset, you're sharing it with other friends, colleagues in that same group. So join something. It is a great booster for you. One idea which I would love all of you in primary school or middle school, if you are listening to me, use podcasts. You know, they are a great tool. But many times, you know, our teachers, first they used to feel very scared of technology. Thankful to COVID, we are now all tech savvy. Now start using podcasts. But remember these 3 cardinal principles when you use a podcast. It has to be short because people are listening to it. It's not a video, remember. So it has to be short, maximum 5 minutes. So maybe you ask a question, maybe you ask your children to respond through a podcast. Also be sure of the structure. Because the child, if he's using the podcast for the first time, he may get lost. And always have a purpose. Farzana ma'am told us, use podcast, I'm using a podcast. You have to have a sure structure. Are you going to do a grammar revision piece with them? Are you going to teach them some vocabulary words? Whatever. Think of what you want to use your podcast for. But children enjoy using tech tools even at home. Think outside the box. Everybody tells us, think outside the box, think outside the box. But what happens if I am open-minded And if I am creative, I will think out of the box. How lagega wo to, they all say all this, it's very good on a slide, thinking outside the box. It's difficult. I have 30 children. They understand what it is. But I am saying, challenge yourself. Think out of the box. I'll give you this example. It's a lovely example. The elephant is held back. See, he's tied down. You can see one small little thing and one rope is tied. The elephant is held back, not by the small little puny rope, but by its own belief system that, oh, I'm tied up. I can't do it. How can I escape? Freedom. No, not possible. Because he's such a heavy animal, he's got so much strength. So he could have pulled it out and moved on. But like him, like this elephant, we teachers also have some, I can't do it, or it's too difficult, or what will my other colleagues say? So you are tied by some belief system. I am saying, break it. Think out of the box, break this and move on. If this elephant had thought like this, he would have been free long ago. Why? Look at it, only one leg and one small little thing. Kitna strength hai elephant mein. Use this, thinking out of the box. Primary school. Give your children some little, things like that. The 9-dot problem. You see, there are 9 dots. You could tell them, use 4 straight lines and join all the 9 dots. But you can't join over 2 dots. They will struggle in groups. They will discuss. You're challenging them. And then, of course, and if they can't, you can say, okay, I'll give you 1 clue and join the first line. See what happens. And they will be able to join all the 9 dots. It's so simple. But you have to provide this challenge to them. You have to motivate them. It's not so difficult. Let's do it. Of course, you all can do it. You are my good class. Now I'm talking about something very interesting, and I'll show you a video about it, from bored to joyful learning. Every time our children in class say, Miss, I'm so bored. I'm so bored. So what do we need to bring into our class? The J factor. What is the J factor? Joyful learning factor. CBSE has started something called joyful learning classrooms. I am saying every school, every teacher, pre-primary, primary, middle school, wherever you're teaching, bring the J factor in your classroom. I will show you one video. It's very interesting. He's got a little accent. Please follow.
Good day, Internet. Mr. Thane back at it again with another teaching tips video, and today we're talking about joy factor or J factor, and we're doing it right now. What is the J factor? J factor is joy factor, basically adding joy, fun, excitement to your classroom. Ask yourself this question: is my class boring? Are my students bored? Am I bored? If you said yes to any of those questions, you need a little bit of J factor or joy factor. I'm going to give you 2 quick J factor tips that you can use in your classroom tomorrow. Tip number 1, challenge your students. I do this all the time. Before we do an activity or anything, whole group, small group, I'll say something like, well, I was gonna do this activity, but I didn't think you guys could handle it. It might just be too hard for you guys. That you'd be surprised at how much that engages the students. No, we can do it. Yeah, we can do it. No, I don't think so. I don't know if you guys are smart enough for that. They really will, that'll get them. You can't do it all the time, but every once in a while you can throw that in there, give them a challenge, or if you teach multiple classes, you can say, well, the other class got it. I don't think you guys can do as good as them, or something like that. You challenge them academically or behaviorally. You can do it when you line up. Well, I heard the other kindergarten class in the hallway earlier, and they were perfect the whole time, not one mistake. But I don't know if we can do as good as them. I mean, they are really good. Just give them that challenge. They will rise up to the occasion. Tip number 2, act a fool. What do I mean by acting a fool? I mean, pretend like you don't know what you're doing. If you're teaching a math lesson, do a think aloud and be like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing, and have them sort of teach you the information. They love it when you play dumb and you're not exactly sure. When you're doing writing, misspell a bunch of stuff, or don't put space in between your words, forget your punctuation, forget the capital at the beginning, and this is a perfect sentence, right? No, what do you mean? What am I missing? That kind of thing. Or add 2 numbers up and get the wrong answer and be like, there, all done, and students will really enjoy that feeling of, oh, I'm smarter than Mr. Thane, I can do it, they'll really think that that's a lot of fun. So that's 2 quick joy factor tips to help you liven up your classroom a little bit for you to do tomorrow in your classroom. If you like this video, leave it a like, comment, how do you, good day, Internet.
So you saw the J factor, challenge your children. And always when you challenge your own person, your own child also, and you say, that child is doing so well, that class is doing, I don't think you guys can do. Immediately they get interested, excited. Of course, sir, we can do. So try these 2 challenges which he has in any class based on whatever you are teaching. Okay. I would suggest another thing, start getting your children to use mind maps. It's a great tool. I'm sure you must be using it, but it helps them to expand and it improves their visual memory, So let's take one example of a science or an EVS. Oceans is what you're teaching them and whatever you're going to talk about. So as you're talking, you're writing on your mind map. So if you're saying ocean, so when maybe you're doing an introductory and say, okay, what do you do when you go into the water? So someone will say fishing, right? Someone will say, oh, there are fish, it's the home for fish. Someone will say, oh, I went diving, or I went on a glass bottom boat and I saw seaweeds. So in this way, I saw waves. They'll say different things, or you're teaching them those things. Put them all down like this on a mind map. And I am telling you, your children will never ever forget all that you've done in this mind map. Do it for every subject, especially for science, EVS, social studies. It works great with those children. Another great tip which I wanted to discover the potential of you as a teacher. One I gave you was the J factor. Then I told you about using creativity pizza boxes. Last we spoke about how we are going to use many other ingredients in our classroom. One other next is the role play. Let's do role play in our class. When you're teaching English, when you're teaching social studies, science, role play, children love it. They're young. They love dramatization. See, pre-primary, they're learning maybe about heavy and light, or they are learning about more and less. Role play. You are a fruit seller. Can you give me more strawberries? Or can you give me few strawberries? I have less money. Whatever. Okay. Then bigger children, we could do something like, oh, you are my little astronauts, and we are going on a trip. And it's a mission. Oh, they love all these words when you use, and tell them to dress up as whatever they want. They'll come very well. The parents are very eager. They will dress them up in different costumes. Next, I would like to say is build a storyboard. What is storyboarding, friends? Storyboard is to use their imaginations and tell a story in pictures. It's a form of communication they may not use every day. So means there are less words, there are pictures that they have to draw. I am sharing one example for you to understand what I mean by storyboarding. This would be like upper primary, 4th, 5th standard. Easy licensing by sonji.fy. You have all these music channels and all. You could pick up anything like Amazon Music or anything. So frame 1, you have to give them this like a worksheet. They will have to, and see, the drawing is not important, friends. It's the image and how they have understood it and what are they writing. So they will have to write, they have to draw, and they have to give action and voiceover. What would be the dialogues? Okay. So the first action this child is writing, police car speeds towards the camera. The voiceover, ever wanted to use your favorite song as a soundtrack? Second frame, again they draw something. Police arrives at your house. Oh my God. Cop, you're coming with me, you. The hero says, wait, wait, wait. And then what is the third frame? The police says, you should have used the songs from Songify. And that's what the cop says. And the voiceover says this, you should have used this song. So you create your own thing. This is just an example of how you could use storyboarding. This is not story in pictures, it's called storyboarding. I've tried to bring some unique, innovative ideas, which I want you all to use in your classrooms. Rethink failures. Sometimes an idea that I had to do in my class, but it didn't pan out. Let's take storyboarding. I explained everything to them. Didn't happen. My children didn't understand only what I wanted. So let them redo it. Now this time do it as a class activity and say, okay, what shall we draw as our first picture? We want to order from Amazon. Now, because of pandemic, most children now know about ordering through Amazon. Okay. So then the first time you failed because you gave it to the children, they didn't understand. So second time, you don't give up. That idea is great. So you said, I'm going to retool myself. I'm going to do it with the class. So you draw a big thing on your board and you do it with them. Different children, different ideas. Once you do one, they will understand what you wanted them to do. So maybe later on, if you give them another storyboarding, it'll be a jiffy for you. So rethink failures. Don't give up, please. That, oh, this is too difficult and this is not for my class. It's middle school. Remember this, there is no failure as long as you learn from your experience. Continue to work, press on for success. You have to have that self-will. That's your potential. Look within you. I am not a failure. If that girl, what is her name? Malaka, Yusufi. She fought. That girl education is so important. Or you take that Greta Thunberg, who talks about climate change. They're young children, young girls. But look at the mission that they have. And if they had said, who's going to talk about climate change? Meri baat kaun sunne wala? I'm a small child. But because they had, and maybe the schools, the environment, maybe one teacher had motivated them, challenge yourself, do it. The world is your stage. Remember that, friends. Now we have to also encouraging learning outside of the classroom. We are so stuck, okay, all my classes will happen in my classroom. Acha AC environment hai. Why should I take them out from here? There'll be a discipline issue. Wo bacha idhar bhagega, wo idhar bhagega. What you can do initially, if you're in a primary class, you're the only teacher, divide them into smaller groups. So you could tell the art teacher, today, could you do something? Or the music teacher, one group with art, one with music. You take one group around with you outside and do some activities outside the classroom. Maybe by the end of the year, they will understand discipline. Children, remember, cannot learn only through textbooks and computers. They need to experience the real world for themselves. If they have to truly understand their role within it, and the part they can play in the future. So for them to experience things is very important. Don't move away from being a textbook-oriented teacher. Give them experiential learning. Give them lots of experience. Pandemic, can't do it? Fine. Give them other experiences online. There are so many lovely experiences virtually you can do. You can bring augmented reality into your classrooms, all freebies. You can take them on virtual tours. Take them to the zoo, virtual tour free. US make zoo hai, wo free hai. But you have to make that effort and give them that experience beyond that my animals, pet and domestic and whatever I show on a PowerPoint. Let them see something else from the real world. That will help them. So make it a challenge for yourself. I am going to find out something virtually which I am going to. So this is like my last slide. And it's a quote of Robert Frost, which says, I am not a teacher. I am an awakener. That's what you are, friends. It's a very big thought. You are awakening your children. You want to create the next line of Bill Gates and Sagar Bhatia or Einstein. It's in you. But if you have the potential, if you believe in yourself, the goodness is within you. You don't have to search for it outside. Challenge yourself. Make your classrooms different. You will become the awakener. So we have some around 10 minutes. So I thought I should end faster so I'm able to answer if anybody has any questions or anything.
Sure, Farzana ma'am, sure. First of all, thank you so much for such a lovely session. You touched on very important point, Farzana ma'am. This session was a complete takeaway. I was just jotting down the summary, so that at the end of the session I would summarize. But everything was so much a takeaway that I said, कि forget it, मेरे को लिखना नहीं है because पूरा session ही मैं बोल दूंगी. I will take another 40 minutes to summarize. So it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful session, a total motivation. I think it was a nice decision taken by me to keep you to the last, because I'm sure that you covered up everything what we learned in these days, so and total motivation out of this session. So Farzana ma'am, thank you so much. And if any of our delegates have any questions, please put them in the comment section box so that we can have the answer from Farzana ma'am herself.
Thank you for all the compliments all the panelists are giving. Appreciate it a lot. Anything you need to ask me how to do it, I'm stuck. And remember, in my IB classrooms, I usually say there is no right and wrong question or answer. And we motivate our children also, ask. So please ask.
I think you've explained it so beautifully that there are no questions, on the
Lovely.
delegate's mind.
Lovely.
There is one question in the chat box. In this pandemic, how can we teach things virtually? Because they get bored after PPT. So I think,
Yeah.
Farzana ma'am, a bit you answered when you were speaking, but I think a little elaboration will be appreciated.
See, basically, now it's more than a year. Our children are fed up of PPT. And I don't approve of PPTs. I'll tell you why. Because even today when I'm talking, see now when I'm talking, you can see me fully. My expressions, my hand gestures, you feel connected. But when I'm sharing a screen, I'm a very small image at the side. So I'm telling you my own grandson's example. In school, he will say, I'm so bored. Let me switch off the camera. So then he is playing with his cars and his teacher is talking over there. Because I feel move away from PowerPoint now. Use ideas like a storyboarding. Email that and tell people, take a printout and tell parents to keep it ready. Get them to do different things, So even if you're teaching maths, you're teaching anything, you start using things which are locally available. Like we had in one of our schools, our teacher said, okay, today the art teacher said that, today I want you all to bring anything from your kitchen, spoons, bowls, whatever, okay? And create a human shape. Take a photo and send it to me. So the next class, she put all the photos of the children and each child tried to explain. So it became interactive. It became learn by doing, rather than only the teacher talking on the screen. My thing is, think of ideas like that. As I told you, take them on these virtual trips, there's so much available. Another great idea is using an augmented reality tool. वो elephant मेरे class में मेरे बाजू में बैठा. So if I'm teaching a poem about a cat, find if you can, or choose a poem जिसका तुमको augmented reality image मिला है. So suppose if I'm getting a cat, I'll teach a poem of the cat, and when I'm talking at that time with the cat next to me, ooh, my children are interested. Or I can bring a tiger, and then I talk about animals. Try to now, good, we've moved on. Now start doing something out of the box, so your children will not get bored. That's the familiar phrase. We've all fed up of it. Bored, bored, bored.
Absolutely. Beautifully answered, Farzana ma'am. And I'm sure that it's all on to a teacher to, dig out her creativity and bring the class to joy. I like the joy factor that you mentioned, the J factor. So that I think is the biggest takeaway of today's session. And once again, on behalf of team of Ignited Educators, Bhavnagar Preschool Association, I thank Farzana ma'am for being present on this show and motivating all of us. Thank you so much, Farzana ma'am.
Thank you very much. Lovely session. Thank you.
Thank
and you're
you,
doing
ma'am.
some good work. Please continue.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, Jalpa, can you take it over? I think Bharti has already logged in. So we'll move to our second session. That is Bharti Mohan's session. Jalpa, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can continue, and I would request Bharti to unmute her camera and mic both so that we can enter the second session of today. Please, Jalpa, go ahead.
Pooja, ma'am, it's over to you.
Is Bharti ma'am there?
Yes, I'm very much there.
Yes, yes, Pooja, she's there.
Yes.
Should I start? Should I start
Okay.
then?
One moment, ma'am. So good evening, everyone. And after the wonderful session of Farzana ma'am, we are going to have one more power pack session by Bharti ma'am. Let me introduce, as such she needs no words, but welcome Bharti ma'am. Bharti ma'am is a puppeteer, a storyteller, and a keen golfer with an experience of 27 years. Ma'am is working with Delhi Public School as a teacher's trainer in ECE. She's associated with HRD Center of DPS Society for the last 10 years, and she has been working towards the enhancement of the quality of perspective in the field of ECE and trying to bring some reforms and innovations in the field of early education. So today we are having one add-on session, and this is also going to be one of the best one, as we are through the last day in the TTLF. Let us hear Bharti ma'am. I welcome you, Bharti ma'am, on this stage. Over to you, Bharti ma'am.
Bharti, you will have to switch on your camera because we are not able to see you.
Yes, I was actually waiting for something.
All right.
Good afternoon, even though good morning is written here. Good afternoon, Bhavnagar. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the viewers who are watching from different parts of India and world. All right, shall we start now? So I would like to have the spotlight. I need to see myself. So I want to show you something really magical. I need
Yes, Bharti. Yes, you are on spotlight.
All right. I need to see, baby. 1 second. Like ma'am said, we all need to do something to get a little more techno-savvy. So I generally struggle over there. All right. So let me start. Cham cham karta suraj, chim chim karta tara, देखो भारती लेके आई जादू का पिटारा. तो क्या बोलेंगे जादू के पिटारे को खोलने के लिए? We need to say the magical words. Come on. Who's going to help me out with the magical words? Anyone? You could unmute and say. Come on.
Jadoo ki chhadi.
Jadoo ki chhadi.
Yes.
Yes. All right. How about Khulja Sim Sim?
Yes.
That? Yes. Khulja Sim Sim. So, खुलजा सिम सिम बोलो प्यारे जोर से जैसे नारा, ऐसे मंत्र फूके जिससे खुल जाए पिटारा. जी हाँ, जादू का पिटारा. खुलजा सिम सिम. And here comes something out of this magic pitara. And who's going to guess now? What exactly is it? Who's going to tell me? This
Gudiya.
is a Gudiya. Okay. Anything else? What is the session about? Any idea?
Puppet.
Puppet. Wonderful. Yes, this is a puppet. So I think we need to do something to do with puppets. All right. Okay. So let's keep this magic pitara a little away now that we are done with it. Okay. Now, so a very, very hearty welcome to all of you, all those who are associated with TAI and with Ms. Harsha Ramaiya and the team from Bhavnagar. I think you all are doing a great job. I've been attending your webinars, and a hearty thanks to you, because I believe in one thing, that what learning and teaching is cyclic in nature. Whatever you learn, you must teach, and whatever you teach, you must learn, because in the process of teaching, you learn much more. Invariably, teachers, during the course of delivery or delivering the lessons, they realize that, oh my God, the child has asked me this. Now, how do I answer this? How do I explain? So that is when we try to reinvent ourselves, right? Okay. So teaching and learning being cyclic in nature, it becomes a moral duty of every teacher to always pass on all the knowledge, information, whatever the learnings of a teacher to the contemporaries, to the other people, whoever. जैसे बोलते हैं ना, ज्ञान की गंगा बहाते चलो, जोत से जोत जलाते चलो, प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो. Okay, because रहते रहते एक जगह पानी भी जाता है सड़. ठीक है? You have seen ponds, there the mosquitoes breed, right? So we are going to become like river. Okay, river loses her own identity when she falls into the sea. Sea loses the identity when it falls into the ocean. All right, so that's how we must be. All the teachers try to become like rivers. Okay, so now starting this session now, I was actually cleaning up while Farzana ma'am's session was on. It was such an awesome session, and I feel so privileged to be sharing the same platform as these so-called stalwarts of the field of education are, like, sharing with me. I really felt very nice, Miss Harsha. Thanks a lot for giving me this chance and opportunity. And Miss Farzana ma'am, you were amazing, just the way all the other speakers were. All right, getting started. I need to show you, I did a lot of cleaning and I'm all sweating. So I need to show what a clean person I am. Okay, so I hope you all can see my basket full of trash. Can you all see? Can you all see this basket full of trash? Did I show you? Look at this. Oh my God. What is it? It's a sieve, a soup sieve. Oh, let me keep it aside. What's this? Oh yeah, it's my sleeve. I'm a golfer actually. So this is one of my old sleeves. All right, let me keep it aside. Oh my God, what is this? There's some old wool. Let me throw it away. Oh God, this carton. See how much kachra. Look at this. These are gloves, cleaning gloves. During pandemic time, all of us have washed the dishes. So this is the pair of gloves that I bought for washing dishes. Let me keep it aside. I don't need it. Okay, this is one old bag. Oh God. This is one old fan, Japanese fan. Oh, so hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, 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 right? All right. Look at this fan. I think I can use it for something. Just think about it, okay? Now that you know that what is the session all about, keep thinking, keep scratching your head and come up with the ideas. What can we make out of this? Look at this Japanese fan. All right. I've got a wooden spoon. Oh, I need to check this. Look at this. I just got my sofa redone. And this is the foam sheet. I don't need it. Oh, I just came back from Uttarakhand. And guess what? Some sandwiches were served. And look at this. I preserved this, God knows for what. An aeroplane with windows. Let me keep it aside. Oh God, how much trash. Look at this. When we have mosquitoes and all these insects that we want to get rid of, we buy this. And then it's lying somewhere in our house, right? Check out this. You would be having badminton rackets also, which have gone bad. Oh. Some old socks aside. Some stick. All right. A rod. A straw. Oh my God, how much clutter have I accumulated? Look at these mittens. I use them for taking things out of the microwave, but they've gone bad, it seems. Look at this. All right. Look at this carton, this packaging material. Just think about it and put in the chat box. What is it that you can make out of it? Because we are going to do something out of kachre mein se khazana. Chaliye, wo banayenge. Look at this foam again. All right. Look at these wooden shavings. I would really appreciate if you all please keep putting in the chat box whatever you think you can make out of this. I'm not able to read it because I'm concentrating on all this, but it will be there, documented. Look at this old spoon. I'm going to chuck it. Look at this old dupatta. Again, chuck it. Old bottle. Some paper bags. Wonderful. I've got some disposable glasses too. Look at this. Oh, has got some old books. Okay. And these days, whenever we are going to, whenever we're traveling, we are getting these kind of shields, aren't we? Isn't it? Just think about it. This can be reused. That's the reason why I've kept all this kachra, because we are going to make treasure out of this. And that's what I'm going to be now showing you. Look, look, look. I've also got a box, a jewelry box. Yeah. Okay, think about it. What can we make out of this? All right. Let me see if I've got anything else. Oh, yeah, I've got a lot of stuff. Look, like I told you, I play golf. So this is one of my club covers. Think about it. All right. I have got so much extra accumulated. I've got some dishes, the disposable, some cloth clips, and some spoons which have fallen on the ground now. Now I'm not going to pick it up. I'm going to just keep this aside so that we can get started. All right, ma'am, can you all see me properly, or should I adjust my camera properly? Please let me know. And any one of you can unmute yourself and let me know, because I will not get to know unless you tell me. Okay. Now that I've shown you so much trash, I think we need to be doing something. As teachers, we're all the time giving this gyan. Reuse, recycle, and these days, we often come across a new word, upcycle. You must have heard. In fact, I had to ask somebody, what does upcycle mean? Because they said this is made of upcycled wood. Okay, so now we are going to be now using all this yarn that we keep giving to others, especially our students, and do something out of it. Okay, now, first of all, as the name suggests, the workshop is about puppetry, right? And Farzana ma'am just mentioned that she does not like PPTs and all. Oh my God, I can't tell you how much she relieved me by saying so. Because all this while, I was just busy. I was sweating out. I said, okay, let me just get my PPT ready. Things are not working to my favor. Somehow I sent my PPT to Jalpa Miss the last minute, and I said, you please play it for me. Okay, because I'm not a multitasking person. So I would request Jalpa Miss to maybe share the PPT, okay? And then we are going to quickly come back to something, okay? So, Jalpa Miss, are you ready with the PPT? If you could just show a little bit, then I'll get started, okay? Because I like to start on a musical note. So, if you could do something there, okay, fine. Do let me know. If not, no problem. Then I'll just continue with this mode, live mode. What do you suggest? Jalpa Miss, are you there? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. How can I help you? This is Pooja here. You want to? We will give you the rights. You want the rights to share the PPT, ma'am?
I can't share it with this because my other my laptop is giving me problem, and in this I don't have. So
just give me one moment, ma'am. I will do the need.
Okay. Till then I'll continue. Okay. Now, all of us have gathered here for this puppetry workshop. So let's get started. And what better way to start than a lungi dance? Come on, all of you are going to be doing a lungi dance with me. Come on. मूंछों को थोड़ा राउंड घुमा के अन्ना के जैसा चश्मा लगा के कोकोनट में लस्सी मिला के आ जाओ सारे मूड बना के come on lungi dance 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 lungi dance. How about that? Meet Anna. Check out Anna. What is Anna made up of? Anna is made up of coconut shell. And check out his mustaches and his chashma, which is made out of Pepsi bottle. You all throw away those bottles, don't you? Don't you? And I've thrown away so much of trash. Actually, I've not thrown away. I've kept it aside. Okay. Now, I have used Pepsi bottle caps, and I have used some old wool and a coconut shell to create this character called Anna. And not to miss this. This is out of cable wire I've put. Okay. Now, and yes, how about these hairs sticking out of Anna's ears here? Look at that. So now, by doing this, I have given a unique, a very peculiar characteristic to this particular character that I've created, Anna, out of coconut shell. Okay, now it's time to have some laddu. Now that you have had coconut mein lassi milake, come on, how about some laddu? Come on. इनसे मिलिए लाला मिठाई लाल, इन्हें अपनी मूंछों पे बहुत है नाज। और जब बच्चे इनके पास आके लड्डू मांगते हैं ना, तो फिर देखिए क्या होता है। लाला जी एक लड्डू दो। तो लाला जी कहते हैं एक लड्डू चाहिए तो 4 आना दो। लाला जी पैसे नहीं। पैसे नहीं, पैसे नहीं तो फिर लड्डू नहीं। लाला जी एक बात बताएं। बोलो बेटे क्या? तेरी मूंछें बड़ी निराली हैं, तेरी मूंछें बड़ी ही प्यारी हैं, तेरी मूंछें बड़ी रोबीली हैं। अच्छा बेटा जी ये लड्डू लो, 2 लड्डू चाहिए तो 2 लड्डू लो। लाला जी पैसे नहीं। कोई बात नहीं बेटा, तो क्या, अब तो तुम 4 लड्डू लो। और लाला जी चल दिए अपनी मूंछों को तान के, मूंछों पर ताप दिए। देखा, so now through this puppet that I've made out of a ball, you all must have come across this kind of a ball. Yes, a squeezy ball, right? A foam ball. So I've cut it into half and I've created this character called Lalaji with mustaches. Okay, you can make mustaches whichever way you want. Okay, you can give him any kind of hair. I've made him some champat from Jhumru Talaiya, but never mind. Okay, now, no offense meant to people from Jhumru Talaiya. Sorry, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to introduce you to someone who has come all the way to sing a song for you all. You know, she's a very nice girl. And every morning she gets up and she greets her parents and everybody just the traditional way her parents have taught her. Okay? So, come on. Would you like to meet her? Come on. Nandini, please come. Yeah. Hi, दोस्तों. अपनी मम्मा की लाडली है नंदिनी मेरा नाम। सुबह सवेरे उठ के सबको करते हूँ प्रणाम। बोलो हरे कृष्णा हरे राम, हरे कृष्णा हरे राम, हरे कृष्णा हरे राम। जानते हो दोस्तों, मेरा एक छोटा भाई भी है, रघुवीर है उसका नाम। मैं अभी उसको बुलाती हूँ। रघु, peekaboo. Here comes Raghu. Now, Raghu, do you have anything to say? मैं हूँ रघु प्यारा प्यारा, अपनी मम्मा की आंखों का तारा। कभी बुलाती राजा बेटा, कभी बुलाती चंदा प्यारा। मैं हूँ रघु प्यारा प्यारा। Yay! So this is Nandini and this is Raghu. Both of them are actually made out of gloves. They are glove puppets. See, I've just put a head over the gloves I've created and I've made out of rags. And just to change Nandini's dress and make it more festive, I put a foam sheet over here and some gota patti that I had. Okay, so this is Raghuveer is made out of stocking, sock, you know, that we wear during winters. So this has been made out of that with micro cotton, that microfiber of cotton filled inside. Okay, so these are the puppets made out of rags and socks. All right, next we are going to be doing something out of fan folding. You must have seen, right? So all of us have made those Japanese fans. So it'll be very easy for those who already are a master at the skill of making Japanese fans. Okay, chalo, let's get started. Oh my God, look who's here. Close your eyes. Look, somebody's coming from the sky. कौन हूँ मैं, क्या नाम है मेरा, मैं कहाँ से आई हूँ, मैं परियों की शहजादी, मैं आसमान से आई हूँ. Look here. So this is परियों की शहजादी, and this परियों की शहजादी has been created out of a simple skill like this Japanese fan folding, which we all must have done as kids. Even her wings. Look at this, right? All right. We can manipulate this. Okay. If we put some invisible that plastic wire that you get, transparent one. If we put that, and if you know how to manipulate the string, this can become a wonderful string puppet. And check out her hands. Her hands are made out of pipe cleaners, okay, which are twistable wires, very easy to twist and to manipulate whichever way you want. And because परियों की शहजादी है तो style भी चाहिए, so I have given her an accessory of this umbrella. You all must have gone to restaurants or hotels where drinks are served to you, those mocktails and nimbu pani with a nice chhatri and accessory like this, isn't it? So I preserved it, and I have provided this doll or this puppet with this accessory to make her look more stylish, more grand. Okay, check out this. This is a crown made out of those stickers that you get these days, those beaded ones. And check out her face. Her face is made out of a coaster. The tea is served, sometimes nimbu pani is served, and they keep it on the table, right? So this is coaster, and this is colored paper. This is sticker, and yeah, right? All right. So this is one of the stick. Look at this. This is a stick puppet. Okay. And the one I showed, that Lalaji was a ball puppet, right? And with a movable mouth, right? Okay. Now, you can actually, the basic purpose of this workshop is to give you a vision of a prospective puppet in all the things that you look around. You see around, you find maybe a bottle, maybe socks, maybe cloth clip, right? So keep your eyes open and try and look for a puppet wherever you can. Okay. Now, before that, let me just elaborate upon what exactly is a puppet. Now, sometimes you see an animal made out of it. Sometimes you see a character which you have not heard of. Sometimes you see maybe they try to humanize the puppets by giving them name, like how we did with Nandini and Raghuveer, right? So basically, when we try to animate an inanimate object, for example, now if something is lying there, कोई भी चीज निर्जीव रखी हुई है आपके सामने, उसमें आपने देखा है हम लोग जब कई लोग पूजा करते हैं, कई लोग नहीं करते हैं, ठीक है ना? तो कई लोग जब पूजा करते हैं, मूर्तियां लेके आते हैं, उसके बाद उनमें आकर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा की जाती है, मंत्रोच्चारण किए जाते हैं, करती है ना कई लोग. तो उसमें क्या होता है, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करना मतलब उसके अंदर नाउ we start considering through all those rituals, we make it alive, we make it a member of our family. Okay, so likewise we do the same thing with our puppets. Now puppets तो inanimate होती है, उनको animate हम लोग कैसे करते हैं? Through movements, okay, through certain voice modulation that we do, all right, through music, movement, and through the messages that we convey, we are going to animate the inanimate. तो निर्जीव को सजीव बनाना है हमको, उसके अंदर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करनी है, उसके लिए हमें म्यूजिक होगा, मूवमेंट होगा, कोई सोशल मैसेज होगा तो बहुत ही अच्छा होगा. ठीक है. अच्छा, एक बात जरूरी है जो हमको कभी भूलनी नहीं चाहिए. जब भी हम अपने पपेट शोज के थ्रू कुछ भी कोई कैरेक्टर्स दिखाते हैं, तो उसमें हम किसी की धार्मिक या किसी भी तरह की भावनाओं का हमको ठेस नहीं पहुंचानी है. तो whenever you have a puppet show, if you have a Ram, okay, suppose leave Ramayana aside because Ramayana is mythology. If you're talking about a general topic, if you're covering, supposing we are doing something on safety or something on hygiene, अगर हमने कोई कैरेक्टर क्रिएट किया है राम, तो हम एक अली भी क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. ठीक है ना? तो हम लोग का टीचर्स का क्या होता है, टीचर्स डू अ लॉट, very very big responsible job in transacting the culture. Okay, So we have to transact the nationality, we have to transact the pride for our nation, we have to transact the culture through education and puppetry, but we do not have to transact religion. Let's not transact religion through our puppetry. Okay, and especially in education, we should not do it. Okay, now I'm going to show you yet another one. Okay, we all have grown up with this. Oh, come on, you can no, don't unmute. You can sing at your end. Okay, all of us have done this. मछली जल की है रानी, जीवन उसका है पानी, हाथ लगाओगे तो डर जाएगी, बाहर निकालोगे तो मर जाएगी। देखिए तो हमारी मछली किससे बनी हुई है? This I have created and made out of a cloth clip. Can you do this? Yes. And kids really enjoy. We can create a mugger. We can also make a crocodile or an alligator out of it. You know, the same mechanism we can use. Even chimta. Okay, the tongue we can use. हम लोग चिमटा use करते हैं ना किचन के अंदर. Kitchen में, like फरजाना मैम ने बोला, the teacher told that you can get anything from your kitchen. Okay, so people would get wooden spoons. People may get, wow, we can get scissors. There's so much we can do out of scissors. Just think of ideas that what all you can create out of scissors. Okay, the most wonderful things we can create out of this, either this way or even this way. Okay, only thing is we will not give it to the kids, and if we give it to the kids, we are going to make sure that the edges are not sharp. Child friendly scissors jo hoti hain aapki. Now that I'm done with this, now I am going to come to, yes, this is my specialty, and this is something I'm very proud of, extremely proud of. And I was just sitting in a hotel room, and I saw something and I said, wow, this is something I am going to be proud of. And yeah. Now, you can name her anything. I am going to name her Chamki, because मुझको ऐसा चमका ना idea, इसके लिए मैंने इसका नाम डाल दिया Chamki. Okay, now this Chamki is made out of, any guesses? Any guesses? 1, 2, 3. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, this is a slipper. Got that, Shelly Bhatia. Wonderful. So this is a carpet slipper or a flip-flop slipper that we get when we check into a hotel room, right? All I've done is I had a tissue bag. Look at this. We all keep gifting each other things in tissue bags, right? I have just used a tissue bag to make her dress look fancier, right? I can even add hands to her, okay? And I can make it out of either those pipe cleaners. Look, these pipe cleaners will come in handy. Look at this. I can always create something really beautiful. I can put this thing over here, okay? And thereafter, after sticking this over here, I can manipulate, I can do this thing, whatever. Look, if I want her to hold something like how I made that puppet hold an umbrella, you could do something like that, okay? So this is the pipe cleaner. It comes in very handy. And this is a slipper, right? Like I showed you. And because I had made a girl, now when we talk about gender equality, so we also have to be, if I create a girl, I have to create a boy as well. Look at this. So this was a slight fawn colored puppet, and I've created it with a different color purposely, because we can, through puppets, we can do a lot of conflict resolution, problem solving. Maybe this boy feels that he's not as fair as Chamki. Okay, maybe he's teased by somebody, wo gora nahi hai, right? So we can do so much, isn't it? So like we said, thank you, Vanna. I love that comment of yours, and compliment rather. Okay, so this is one boy character I have made. Now, whenever you create any character, please, you either ask children or you yourself name the character. Okay, now this one could be, maybe I can call him Gullu. How about Gullu? But no. Gullu would be teased as Ullu. So let me think of some other name. Maybe what? Sweetu. Sweetu. Okay, wonderful. Yes, he's got a sweet smile. So Sweetu would be a nice name. So Sweetu is quite complex. You know, he's kind of, you know, feeling that his skin is not as fair as Chunky's skin. Okay, so now we can have a role play and we can make people understand that God does not make everyone the same. Okay, there are different kind of people in the, like for example, in rainbow, we have 7 colors, right? Rainbow is a perfect example, but each color has its own vibrance, has its own presence, and has its own value. No color is inferior to any other color. So God has made it that way. So we must respect each other's color, each other's differences, the way we look, right? Now, with the same modus operandi or the same prop, I have also created this. Now, her name, you could name her. Anybody would like to name her? Use the chat box. So, ये है पंछी बड़ा निराला, रंग बिरंगे पंखों वाला. ओके, और ये पंछी सोचता है ये पीकॉक का कजन है ना, तो इसके लिए पंछी सोचता है कि मैं भी पीकॉक हूँ. Yes, Rangila. All right. Rangila would be very nice. Okay. So what I've done is I've purposely used a dirty slipper because हम लोग कचरे में से खजाना बना रहे हैं. ठीक है? Invariably teachers को ये face करना पड़ता है whenever we announce that, okay, come on, let's create something out of waste. Best out of waste. We are going to have a competition. So I have actually seen people going and buying something that they can turn into waste, which is a very sad thing. For example, I remember once in my class, a girl was, yes, true. Thank you, Shivangi. So thanks for confirming that. So what, you know, they would do a broken bangle से कुछ बनाना है तो मम्मी जाकर bangles खरीद के लाई, फिर उनके टुकड़े किए और उसके बाद उससे बनाया, which is a very sad thing. So what we are going to be doing is, we are actually going to use waste. So that's the reason why this slipper is actually dirty. Okay, only thing is I've sanitized it so that, you know, those bacteria and germs are not there. But dirty look, I have let it be. Okay, so this is, yeah. So if you want to teach a topic or tell a story becomes very, very interesting with the help of props, isn't it? And if we put a twistable wire, we can even manipulate and maneuver the wings. Okay, we can make it fly. In fact, I bought something, I'll show you that also. All right, so we are done with flip-flops. All right, now coming on to, all right, so I'm also going to run the PPT because I've made a PPT with great difficulty, you know. So I'm also going to run that PPT and I'm going to in fact ask Jalpa Miss to run that for me. Okay, now you all must have, in the name of puppetry, we have grown up with puppets like this. You all must have seen puppets like this, you know, those Rajasthani string puppets. Tene new, right? And you know, those typical Rajasthani folk songs and all, you know, they used to sing, and we used to really get amazed at the movements, you know, at the hip shaking movements of these Rajasthani puppets, right? Boomer. Yes, understandable. Yes. Now, I use this puppet. Like I said, no, we have to reuse, recycle. Now, everything, we all are, I'm living in Mumbai and Mumbai has got space constraint. Okay. Now, so we have limited space now and puppets occupy space. That's one more reason why we need to recycle and upcycle. Okay. Now, recently I was asked to make Diwali show. Okay. So I did, and I used this particular puppet for the character of any guesses? Any guesses where I would have used this character? You could use a chat box. In the meantime, I'll have a sip of water. Okay, let me show you something. I had put this, a ball that I had put behind her. Now, any guesses? रामायण की स्टोरी सबने पढ़ी है ना, दिवाली की स्टोरी, right? Okay, no responses. So I created the character of, yes, Sunita, I created the character of Manthara, the Kubdi Dasi, the Dasi with she was a hunchback, right? Yes, wonderful, Shilpa. Yes. So to make a hunchback, what I did was I used her ghagra only, and I just tied a potli around that ball. I just used a ball like this. Okay. All right. So this was used. So that's where I'm coming to. recycling, reusing, and upcycling. Okay, so just by adding a little bit of feature, the character becomes different. Likewise, I had created a show on Ravan. Okay, wherein we'll come to Ravan later. Okay, now this was the glove puppet used over there. Okay, but this was used as a darban. Okay, and what he did over there was, let me show you. Ba adab, ba मुलाहिजा, होशियार, पधार रहे हैं राजाओं के राजा जो खाते हैं खाजा, चलो स्वागत करें उनका बजा के बैंड बाजा. Right? So this was a darban and this was a prahari, और जो लोग अनाउंस करते थे ना राजा का अराइवल. Okay, धूम धड़ाके के साथ राजा एंट्री लेते थे. So now I had to use the same puppet. So what I did was, at that point in time, it had much tinier eyes. So I added these mustaches to make it look grander. And the other one, the previous one, did not have these kind of mustaches. And eyes were made into bigger. And I just added one mukut to it. Okay, I made it out of foam sheet and I added mukut to it. And I added this jhalar to it, this gota. And I made it look grander. So in my next show, he became, who was the father of Lord Ramchandra, or I would say Prince Ramachandra. Prince Rama's father. Any guesses? Yes, it was King Dashrath. Wonderful. So I made him into King Dashrath just by adding these, this crown I added, okay, and big mustaches because he was a king, and this cham gota. Okay, so how a darban became the king himself. Okay, from rags to riches. Wow, wonderful. Likewise, we can have, you know, one character we create, okay, but then later on we can use that same character of something else. This was Goldilocks, okay, with the gold, for golden hair I'd use this, you know. Now in the next one, maybe I'll change the color of the hair, okay, or maybe I'll change something about this look, you know, face, and I'm going to reuse this puppet of mine. Okay, now you'll see around your place a lot of things lying around, like this was a chabbi, a dibiya jisko bolte hain, right? Now this is a dibiya to keep maybe small pieces of jewelry or something. Now if you just add a stick to it, and you can use it as a jhopadi, as a prop. Now we all use different kind of props for our puppet shows, right? So this was made into a jhopadi. Okay, so like I said, the idea is to give you a vision to be able to see a prospective puppet. Now, all right. Now, paper plates are something that we all encounter, you know, for maybe when we go for a party or when we host anything, small puja or anything, right? So we all bring paper plates. Now, how to use them effectively? Now, look, this is the puppet I've created out of paper plate. Halved it, painted it, made it into a cone. Look at this. Okay. Now I've added one more jhalar to it. I've made two cones, one over the other. You can just make it with one cone also. And I've made it into a farishta, an angel, or a fairy maybe. Okay. So you can ask, when you show it to the children, you can ask them to name this fairy. She can be a fairy godmother. She can be just a saheli, pari. Okay. Right. And just to create that hollow, I have used again the pipe cleaners, right? And I put, see, nice innocent eyes over the blue foam sheet, that glittery foam sheet I've used, and over that I've put that small bead, okay, that sticker bead. And this is again foam, this is again foam, right? So foam is not a very eco-friendly material, I understand, but sometimes, and because it was there with me at school and it was ordered, so I used it. But I'm going to recycle it, reuse it, and maybe upcycle it. So I'm going to justify using foam. All right. Now, when we make our puppets, we also have to ensure that we do not add to the already existing clutter. Okay. We have to keep on reinventing ourselves. That's the reason why we need to recycle and reuse these. Now, when we create a character for our story, there are two ways of actually hosting a puppet shows. First of all, you think of a storyline, आप क्या मैसेज कन्वे करना चाहते हो उसके थ्रू, or whatever you think of it, you think of a storyline, and then as per the story you create characters, and then you say, okay, this character should look like this, and then you make it. But I make it because I am a little, I don't know, maybe a bit challenged. I can't think, I mean, beforehand, I just do things as and when they come to me. So I start doing something and it comes up as something else only. Okay. So now this is the character again I had created with the same paper, a fan folding technique, which I had shown you. And look here, what I was trying to show you. Same thing was being shown over here. All right. So this is what I was talking about, using a pipe cleaner for hands. Now check out her eyes. If you look at her eyes, these do not look very pleasant to you. Okay. So this character I had chosen for Kekai. Very pretty, but not very pleasant. Okay. So look at the size of the pupil. So the way the eyes are placed, okay, you can either humanize the puppets or you can make them look evil. You can make them look very cunning. Okay. So eyes play a very, very important role. And so does the mouth. Okay. How you place the lips and the mouth also is going to play an important role in how your puppet is going to look like, or your character is going to look like. So if you want to give this character something like she was very cunning, she was scheming and all, so maybe this kind of a getup would be good. And if you want her to look very soumya, बहुत ही सरल, तो उसकी eyes जो होंगी ना, eyes should reflect her character. Okay, so it's very important. Like here, this is the same thing, like I said, no? This is the Raja. Okay, Raja Janak. All right. Yes. Thank you, Varshita. So again, when we show Raja को अगर हमको अभिमानी दिखाना है, तो हम उसकी मोटी मोटी मूछें दिखाएंगे, उसकी, like for example, now should I share with you something that I'm very proud of again? Okay, this you can say, if I have to show, this is a puppet made out of sieve, soup sieve. Now you may not be able to make out, but this had holes in it. Okay, this sieve had holes in it. That's the reason why I made out of waste. And can you see it is looking all old and worn out? Okay, so this was a king that I had created out of this. Okay, now on the same lines I worked and I created something very beautiful. अरे दीवानो, इन्हें पहचानो, कहाँ से आए, ये है कौन, ये है कौन, ये है कौन, ये है डॉन. Yes, डॉन 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 डॉन. मैं लंका का राजा हूँ, मैं लंका का राजा हूँ. राजा हूँ, महाराजा हूँ, मैं लंका का राजा हूँ. So this was Ravan's puppet, which I had created out of soup sieve, like you can see. Okay, and I've added, this is blouse ka latkan I've added. Okay, this is blouse ka kapda that I had some sleeves I had, which I wanted to wear without sleeves, and it had sleeves, so I've used that cloth. So to Raja ko Rajsi lagane ke liye, to give it a grand look, we had to, yeah. Thank you, Shivangi. So we had to see, ये जो आपने देखा होगा शादियों में घोड़ी वोड़ी को पहनाते हैं, कुछ करते हैं, तो मेरे पास कहीं पर रखा होता मेरे ब्रदर की शादी के लिए, so I used that, okay, as one of the accessories. This is blouse ka latkan, and I've used foam sheet again to make the crown. And this as you can see, this is a file binder. Earlier you used to get those files, we used to put those file binders. Okay, so this is that. Now, if you check out, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's upgradation. Yeah, and upcycling. So if you check out this, thank you, Janvi. Yeah, so this आप मूंछों को तना हुआ दिखाएंगे, अहंकारी है. अच्छा, आप लाल रंग का बेस दे रहे हैं आंखों को. You are showing an evil character through this. Now, रावण को आप ना रिलीजन के साथ में नहीं करिए, एसोसिएट मत कीजिए. रावण को what I do is I show it as a social evil. Okay, तो रावण एक राजा था, उसने गलत काम किया, right? Now, रावण को अगर सोशल एविल या सामाजिक बुराई जिसको हम हटाना चाहते हैं, now this could be प्लास्टिक रावण, this could be महंगाई का रावण, this could be पैंडेमिक का रावण, कोरोना का रावण, okay, this could be सोशल मीडिया का रावण, All right, thank you, Janvi. So we can depict any social evil through this character of Ravan. Okay, and if you see the placement of eyes, the eyebrows, the eye base, yes, attitude and bad behavior, yes, that can also be depicted through this character called of Ravan. Okay, I'm going to ask Jalpa Miss, whenever you're ready, I want them to see that show that I had made. And Puppet Maestros, I don't know whether Bela is there or not. I'm not checking out the list of participants, but she has a company called Puppet Maestros, and they had organized this. And I won the, yeah, Bela is there? Okay, and even Harsha Miss was there then, so they are all buddies. And now, so soup sieve could be used for so many things and creating so many characters. Now think about it. You can take a soup sieve and then it already has this. Okay, if you see,
Bharti, can I excuse for a minute?
yes, ma'am.
You want the PPT to be played, is that so?
PPT or whatever, if PPT can be played, fine, I can explain alongside, or else, whatever. Yeah,
because I think there is some technical problem at Jalpa's end, so we are not able to play that PPT. So
okay, never mind. It's perfectly all right. As it is,
Okay.
I was so relieved when Farzana ma'am was saying that PPT hates it. I said, wow, thank God. मैंने इतनी मेहनत से PPT बना तो लिया था, लेकिन मैंने बोला चलाना पड़ेगा तो मैं perform नहीं कर पाऊँ. I can't do multitasking.
All right, Bharti. Thank you so much. You've relaxed me.
I'm relieved, in fact.
Thank you.
So, now, अच्छा मैं वो दिखा रही थी, उसमें आप देखिए, इसमें ऑलरेडी यहाँ पर होता है, अब छलनी में देना है, तो उसमें आप सरदार जी का पपेट बना सकते हैं. ठीक है. Now, we have to understand, as a teacher, we have to be very, very sensitive. We have to address all the issues, social issues, as well as emotional issues of children. Sometimes you must have seen Sardar children being teased because of their jury over here. So you can sensitize children through these puppets. If you are making Ram, then make one Ali, then also make one Baljinder. Okay. So try to be very inclusive in your teaching, in your approach, and conveying whatever messages you're conveying through your puppets. All right. Now here comes somebody, and she never comes without a gift. Look what she has brought us today. Yeah. Oh, where are you? Oh, can you see? Oh my God, one of her eyes is falling. Oh my God, it seems like an eye infection. So this is a box puppet of a froggy mama. And look what she has got for us. Look at her. She has got a fly for us. Okay. She never comes empty-handed. Okay. Now, one more thing I would like to state over here. See, in the field of creativity, कोई डूज एंड डोंट्स ज्यादा होते नहीं है. मैंने देखा है एजुकेशन में, हेल्थ में, क्रिएटिविटी में, जो आज नो है वो कल yes हो जाएगा. You never know. Okay, like for example, sitting and watching, like we used to always kind of no, you are not going to do screen time and all. Now that has become a boon for us, isn't it? So कब चीजें बदल जाती हैं, कब उनकी परिभाषाएं बदल जाती हैं. So कल जो गलत था वो आज सही है, और जो आज सही है वो कल शायद गलत हो जाए. ठीक है. कितनी सारी दवाइयां हम लोग लेते थे, वो बीच में बैन हो गई कि उसमें ये चीज होती थी. राइट. ऑलराइट. सो इसके लिए क्रिएटिविटी में मैं ये बोलती हूँ, अपनी तरह मेरा अपना विजन, अपना फिलॉसफी है दैट आई डोंट थिंक दैट स्ट्रिक्ट नो टू दिस एंड स्ट्रिक्ट यस टू दिस. आई डोंट डू इट. ओके. नाउ वी कैन यूज foam puppets again. Like I said, foam, colorful foam sheets can be used for making puppets. You just need to just draw it out, cut it, and then just dress it and accessorize it. Now see, look at this. I've used this corrugated paper, and I've used this pink colored foam, and I've used this rag, this dupatta. Okay. And I've created the character of a girl. Look at this. Okay. इसका नाम है Vanya. Okay. Isn't it lovely? Yes, Shivangi, thank you. So we can create, and see, for our lehenga, I have again used the same technique because it's the easiest and most handy. Yes, it's a tutorial. Yeah. And again, I've made use of those stickers to make mala. Girls like to wear ornaments, isn't it? And look at her eyes. Look at her eyes. Her eyes look happy. There's a twinkle in her eye. So her eyes are going to speak a lot about the character that you create. Okay. इसमें सौम्यता है, innocence है ना? Right? So it is going to appeal. And if you're going to make, eyes like that with red base and all, it's going to create another emotion. Okay, so this is it. Now, okay, we can make stick puppets. We can just cut out anything and just put a stick behind it, and it becomes a stick puppet. You know, very easy, and makes our lessons and our teaching so vibrant, so alive. So this is a caterpillar, and just to show multiple legs, what I've done is, again, I've used 5 fingers, right? So I've made extensive use of this thing. The other day there was some pamphlet there, you know. So what I did was I cut out this. These days we are doing online teaching. So if I have to give thumbs up, very good and all. So I've just cut that out and I've stuck it on a ice cream stick, and I've made a thumbs up, excellent, brilliant, something like that, you know, out of it. This is a stick puppet, okay? And I can even call it a character, like Ballu gives you thumbs up or something, you know. Again, involve children in making in naming the puppets. They feel very they feel involved and they feel respected. Okay, we are going to honor their whatever they say. Now, the easiest puppet that I'm going to show you is we just make a paper pipe. Paper pipe, we all know how to make a paper roll, okay, and just add a face to it and whatever. Now, this is the character of Ravan that I created, a finger puppet I created out of, you know, during Diwali time. Now, like, Ashal, let me show you other characters also. If I think you all would have seen this, but anyway. So, what I've done is now, ek Ram hai to ek Ravan bhi hai. Now, in this particular puppet show that I had done was, Ram and Ravan were shown as, you know, he was the king of Lanka and this one was the prince of Ayodhya. We did not call him Lord Ram because we did not want to bring in religion, okay, into the picture. We introduced him as Prince Ram, Prince of Ayodhya. Okay, so that, you know, it becomes very easy for everybody to grasp and all. And there's no, we are not kind of, you know, antagonizing anybody. We are not bringing in religion. We are not, you know, we're only transacting culture. Now, you must have seen that tissue box. Jackson tissue box is one of my favorites. No, I don't get any commission for that, but it's one of my favorite things, you know, those tissues, because there are quite a few tissues we get and at a very good price. So I buy that box also because they have these characters, you know, Sare Jahan Se Acha Hindustan Hamara. So look at this. This is a Hindu couple we have created. This is a Christian couple, and this I'm going to make into a Muslim couple. Look at this, isn't it? So we are trying to transact culture. We are trying to transact our national heritage, okay, to people, okay. So this is, and treat everybody equal, all right, okay. So we also have a Marwadi couple. If you have a story of some Marwadi, okay, so here, all right. So we can also, I think we would be having some Sikh couple. We got that. So I'm going to place that. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, आपस में सब भाई भाई. ये आज की बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी ज़रूरत है. We have to respect each religion. We have to be an includer, right? Inclusion is the need of the hour. So this is what, and what has been done? वो just paper को काटा और उसके पीछे एक paper का pipe लगा दिया, right? And we have created a puppet, okay, right? So the same message that you're giving to the children verbally, if you use a prop or a puppet, it becomes so vibrant and alive. Now, I'm going to show you something that I just created. I was walking on the road and I found something and I said, wow, this is something I'm going to, you know, I went to Delhi and I belong to Dehradun. So I saw some children over there, they were smoking or something. And I said, how do I talk to them? So I just picked up one of the cigarette packs over there. And I tried to show them what was drawn or what was the picture that you have over there. Okay. Then next day I came and with this puppet and I just did a little bit of a role play in front of them. Okay. So this was introduced as, think of a nice name for this one. You know, then I'll tell you what I called it. Anybody use the chat box and you could kind of maybe come up with something. So this, okay, you're taking your own time. Then let me tell you, okay, you can play some nice music and introduce her as Stop Cigar Sahib. Okay, Stop Cigar. Okay, Stop Cigar Sahib. Very good. Now I called it Siggy. Siggy tobacco. Miss Siggy tobacco. Like how is it? I'm Pooja Briganza. Right? Aha. Like that, you know. So this is Siggy tobacco. Okay. Look at the popped up eyes. And I've used bindi. And I've used these big canines. All right. These rosy lips to make her look glamorous. But this one to show that she's dangerous. So I have given a character to this particular prop. And this can be made into a movable bun. See, this can be. So if I attach, you know, a rod to it or maybe a transparent thread and tie a knot, then this becomes a movable mouth. Okay. Now, so what I did was a role play of Siggy Tobacco and her cousin. Guess who? Her cousin was Cookie Moneko. And the message was that you must prefer Moneko over tobacco. Now, again, Moneko could be because it's rhyming well with tobacco. Okay, so this is how it is. And when we are using puppets for the puppet shows, some of the schools are averse to the idea of using Bollywood jingles, chimes, songs, and all. So I have a request that we have to be open. See, I live in Mumbai, and it's an integral part of our city, our country, right, our nation, and Bollywood can play a very positive role in conveying certain social messages. Okay, so use appropriately. Okay, you can't be using cheap jingles and chimes like Fevicol song and all. Don't use those item numbers, but use Bollywood appropriately, which brings in a smile, makes the thing look very catchy. And I'm going to look for my bobbies. There it is. I'll have to get up and get it. Never mind. Okay. Now, so if you use something like dinka chika, dinka chika, dinka chika, dinka chika, oh, right. Once again, let me get that. Where are you? This is Bobby the Froggy. Okay. Here. Hey, I'm Bobby the Froggy. Dinka chika, dinka chika, dinka chika, dinka chika, eh. Dinka chika, dinka chika, dinka chika, dinka chika, eh. मैं हूँ बॉबी प्यारा सा फ्रॉगी, बोलू मोलू मुझे मम्मी कहे, हे डिंक चिका डिंक चिका डिंक चिका डिंक चिका, ए नाचू गाऊं खुशी मनाऊं, बारिश की बूंदे मुझे अच्छी लगे, हे डिंक चिका डिंक चिका डिंक चिका डिंक चिका, ए. Yes, this was Bobby the Froggy, and they used the popular song called Dinka Chika, whatever. Now, we have put our own lyrics. We have not used the cheap lyrics. Okay, so that should be the whole idea. Okay, yeah. Pooja, you want, is the time up? You're muted.
We can go 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay, so let me just culminate then. In that case, I'm going to just quickly show you something that I've created out of, you know, we all have birthdays and all, and we get these cakes with a base, right? Right? So this is the cake base that has been used. I've put a handle to it, and I've tried to make something out of it. I'm the king of the jungle. So what have I created out of? Not only have I used the cake base, I've also used the wooden shavings here, right? So to make it look all the main, very, very majestic, I've done this, right? Okay. Then Corona puppet. I got that Ravan. I use it for Corona. And also I made. See, I was cleaning up the other day. Okay, dusting, and I got this glove, and I said, why not we use this for something? And I had this massage ball, and all I did was to add some eyes, look at the red base, and look at the teeth to it, and I gave it the character of Corona. Look at this. Have you seen all of you depict virus with this, right? Right? So this was Corona for us, okay? अच्छो का निकाल दिया मैंने रोना. नाम है मेरा कोरोना 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 मास्क और सैनिटाइजर की बढ़ा दी मैंने सेल, मेरे आगे तो अच्छे से अच्छा डॉक्टर भी हो गया फेल. Right? So this was our corona puppet made out of an exercising massage ball and this puppet. Okay. So what we were discussing, I've got so many puppets, but the time is up. So I'm going to respect time for myself and for others as well. Okay. And I'll just wind up with this, this kind of dupatta and rags we get. This can be used for making saris and attire, look vibrant and beautiful and chamka chamka. Children like it, right? And look at this butterfly I made out of, the conflicts box was there. So that this, it's foam, right? So I just created this butterfly out of it, right? Okay. Now, so the time is up, and I think I have covered up everything. A few of the puppets are remaining, but never mind. We'll have another inning, another time. Yeah?
Yes. I wish the time was, not moving ahead. We were enjoying seeing all the puppets. I guess the audience, the delegates would really, agree with me. And ma'am, let me tell you, creativity is all what you are having. And I was like amazed to see that ऐसे चीजों से भी puppets बनते हैं. And the one thing most I liked about in your session, during your session, was that you stress so much on not putting religion and associating with the religion. That is all what we have to learn. And two things which I loved and I was watching throughout your session was your expression of your eyes, your hands movement, and your lovely hairstyle. Now I am flat with that. And I think the delegates would